Hello everyone, it's Kaled, and welcome to our 12th episode of Oxygen Not Included. So, in the last few episodes, I changed a few things on the base, found a few issues that were, and hopefully try to solve them. What we got here? Plastic? Fertilizer. Fertilizer. Alright, so I found a few issues. So I solved the problem that my Pacu had. So they were overcrowded, but they were also cramped because the space was so small and confined that all the 12 of them, or 15, I forgot how much we had, so they would put their reproduction to 0. So what I've done, I've removed the door that I had installed here. I forgot exactly why. But so the door is down, so now the room size is calculated as 1100, so it should be more than enough for a few hundred spacus. I think they need 8 squares per. Um, we'll see as the population regrow again. Other than that, this portion works fine. We are still running low on algae, so I might like 98 uh, kilograms and all stuck in here, ready to go for our Pacu farming. Um, this here doesn't work quite fast enough. Our slime's like starting to go low, so we're gonna have to finish digging this up. So as you can see, I use the robo miner to make my way. So I'll go. There's still quite a bit of slime and algae hanging out in here, so eventually I'll tap into that, make sure we get all of that used. I also kind of fixed the aqua tuner and steam turbine. It is still running a little bit too hot, which caused it to give me a really annoying on and off alarm when it's running. But since the alarm is very brief, it doesn't actually damage the aqua tuner, so it's still free to run whenever it wants to. The steam turbine will kick in from time to time. It all depends really on the temperature of our water. We are set right now for 0 degrees, so we still got lots of room. The water is still fairly cold. Our sleet weeds are working very well. Don't need this anymore. So I had an auto supply, I could call it. But now that I have a nice buffer, won't need this anymore. So I'll stop this. So one nice issue we have, our water start to get slow because we burned a little bit through our electrolyzer, which by the way, this setup doesn't quite work on its own as of yet. I think it just needs to be run, like forced to run for a while in order to get this area filled with hydrogen and not oxygen like it is right now. So, but I'm only powered through a little copper wire, so that's not great. So it keeps breaking when I open the switch. So I'm going to try to put the coal generator to kickstart the system, get it all run up and nice. Hopefully it'll work. So there's two things I want to do today. The time that we have left, I want to use that salt water, go through a desalinator, and top up that tank so that we can make sure we don't have water issues. We still got lots of it, but it's just a matter of running the base for a few 50, 75 cycles, and this probably will be depleted. So I want to make sure we got a way to replenish it. We got lots of salt water, so we can be able to use it. As well, I want to make a little a quick setup for our to make steel in order to make sure that the aqua tuner gets made out of steel so it doesn't overheat. So I'm sure soon enough you'll see that a little alarm pop on and off. So I want to be able to upgrade this. So I'm gonna make a little a quick setup, kind of self-sufficient. There we go. That's the alarm that I was talking about. So it's extremely annoying. So first of all, we'll need our metal refinery. As you can see, it requires quite a bit of power. It's 1200, so that's 2 coal generators running full blast. So I'm gonna put the refinery over here close to the ladder. We're gonna be, as I said, I want to make sure that it's self-sufficient. So we're gonna go with power. I'm gonna put its own generator for now. in order to make sure the generators don't keep going over and over again. We gotta make sure that we put a smart battery. So the automation by wires so that the battery pack controls the two coal generators. The refinery also requires cooling. So what I'm gonna do for now, I'm gonna tap into my polluted water setup to fill up the refinery, and then the water is gonna make its way back into the loop. The one thing that I have to make sure is that the refinery has priority to put its water back into the line, because if I don't, it will just back up into the refinery. And since I have here I have that tank that will automatically resupply the line, the refinery will never work. It will work for one run, then all the water, the pipe will be filled through the liquid reservoir, and the refinery will never be able to empty itself. So I'm gonna create this bridge. I'm gonna remove the pipe that's in the middle, and gonna put the output on this side of the bridge. You're gonna see soon enough. So this pipe here is not required anymore. And next, there we go. So we'll make a mess. Not a big deal. So the loop still runs properly, and by putting the pipe coming this way, it will ensure that the refinery got priority. It's a big thing with liquids and gases, is to try to figure out the bridge ideas and how they work, where the water goes, to make sure that it goes where you guys want it to go, the way that you want it to work. So the way that it will run right now. So all the water is gonna go through that bridge. It's gonna be forced in. It's gonna fill the refinery. Then the refinery will output its water. It's gonna be about 50 or 60 degrees for now, and then it's gonna go back into the system. So every time it runs, it's probably gonna cause a little bit of overheating through my base. Well, not really through my base, but there's going to be a little bit of hot water coming through, so I'm hoping that it won't affect too much my sleet wheat farm, but we will see. As I said, this is just a temporary fix to get rid really of the nuisance alarm that keeps popping. So as you can see now, all the water doesn't go back into the system, goes into the refinery. And once the refinery is going to be full, the black pipe's going to come back. But you're going to see this line here. It's going to be replenished by the reservoir, and we won't have any issues. So it holds 800 kilograms, so that's 80 blobs of water. There we go. So refinery is full, water is coming back, but this here never stopped. So we still got cooling coming up. Still -1 degrees, so everything works fine on that side. I'm gonna queue and mop in here and increase the priority for this, make sure that it gets done. So we want quite a bit of steel just to start, so let's go for 20. So it's gonna use, as you can see, it's actually used 70 kilograms of iron, a little bit of carbon that I made a few times, a few episodes ago, or in between episodes, forgot. So we got a little bit, and lime. The lime is, I got a few times that popped through the printing pod, but mostly it's these guys here, the poke shell. They just drop their shell every, I don't know exactly how often, but every so often they drop their shell, and then I use the shell in the rock crusher, and turns one shell to 5 grams, or one adult shell into 10 grams per kilograms. So that's how this works. That's how I got my lime. Eventually gonna have to find a better way to do so. I forgot what's the other option for lime. I think fossil, which I do have as well somewhere. I forgot where, but I saw some somewhere, so we'll be able to. Nope, bleach stone. Oh well, there's some somewhere in the base. Oh, there we go. so we can use that to make lime as well, if I remember correctly. Um, Also eggshells, so all the critter eggs that hatch and that I break, well, that all becomes limes as well. So we already got our first steel made, so probably make that the system kind of works for now. And also, one generator is probably good enough. I put two just to be on the safe side, but since it's not going to be in use at all time, the generator is going to replenish the battery. Then the battery is going to power the refinery. So together it should be enough for what we need. But I'm going to tap onto that power source, and right here I'm going to put my desalinator. Since we got a large pool of water, that's where I'm going to start it with. And then I'll be able to bring the water all the way up back to the tank. Eventually, I will make this little room here. It's going to be filled with chlorine, and I'm going to put a few water reservoir in a little loop in order to make sure that all the germs get killed before the water makes it into our usable potable water. I already have some things like this over here. So the water comes out of the tank, goes through the germ sensor. Germ sensor controls the liquid shutoff. So if there's zero germs, that's what I want. Right now there's quite a little bit still. So water is going to make its way to the liquid valve. The liquid valve is just there to reduce the amount of water that makes its way through the reservoir, because I want to make sure that I always have this area flooded. I want to make sure that there's always water going through my wash place and my showers. Uh, yeah, so that puts a little bit of back pressure. There we go. So there's no germs coming in, so all that water is going back to the tank. I choose 1,000 grams because the bristle blossoms and the sleet weeds, they use 535 each. So actually I could bring it up to 1100 just so that I actually gain a little bit. So it's gonna put 1100 grams, so enough to cover for the two farms. So my level should slowly go up. As well, from time to time, the printing pod gives me ice, so I just dump the ice in here, which eventually become water. So this works fine. Sadly, it's under carbon dioxide, so they're running out of air every time they're going to use it. That's an issue that we're going to be dealing with shortly. One thing that I've done too, I got my bottom inner base delimitation. So this is as far as I'm going to go with my base. Everything under is going to require Atmos suits to go and explore and work. That's where I'm going to put most of the power generation, everything that's automated, so that the dupes don't need to go. And this here, hopefully, will be filled with pure oxygen, no germs, no nothing. So hopefully that'll work fine. So we'll go in ahead and do our desalinator. So right here, so we're gonna require a pump as well to pump the salt water into the desalinator. So gonna require higher priority. Plumbing. I'm gonna build everything priority 7. So plumbing is gonna come in into the desalinator. This one's gonna make its way here. I'm gonna jump this. I'm gonna have to jump that one as well. And for now, I'm gonna put it in here. So using the bridge, it'll make sure that that water doesn't try to go back down the line. So the bridge gonna force the water in here. Just gonna fill that little pocket so that we can still use the pitcher pump for science. And everything else will just overflow back into the main tank. I might have to move that liquid vent one level down just to make sure that the top layer stays empty, just for that time whenever I'm going to use ice, so that it doesn't overflow and make a mess everywhere. So there's the desalinator. Remove salt from brine, salt water, produce water, so that's good. I think it's also gonna dump some salt on the ground. Not a big deal, just gonna pick it up and make a table salt with it. I already have here 62 table salt queued in. I'm gonna try to find a way to automate it so that the dupes don't just do ridiculous amount of salt. Because the tables should be full right now. Yep, every table's got salt, so we don't really need more. I'm gonna start a setup that I'm gonna try to use. Let's use the smart storage. So using the smart storage to power on and off a rock crusher, so that depending on how much salt I want stored, the rock crusher will be disabled. What are they offering me today? Pipsqueak. Yeah, sure. So just gonna roam around here, not do anything. But they're nice if I ever want to. I could probably use it like here and try to increase my amount of wild waterweed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use this pipsqueak for that. So we need power. So I'm gonna tap power for the desalinator as well as for the pump. So we need to go in conductive wire because this one requires 1200. So it's gonna be it would be too much power to drive everywhere. So that's 6, 7. Might be just a little bit too much if everything runs together. But really, this one should be almost done. Like, it should be too long that. Oh, I don't have enough iron. Let's go for iron. The big thing with that, it takes iron ore and gives me the exact amount in iron. So there's no loss anymore. So we'll be able just to probably let these guys starve now that I have a refinery. So I think I'm gonna do that. So they were nice to have in the beginning. I think I probably didn't, should have had them earlier in the game, just to be able to use them for a longer time. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna get rid of those guys. Gonna put more stone hatch in here, just to make sure that I have enough coal for everything. How's our coal doing? Yeah, almost out of coal, so definitely need a lot of coal. Um, there is quite a bit of coal in here, so there. So now it's idle. These here looks like they're working better now. Starting to have a hydrogen in the back. So how much coal you got? Not that much. Deconstruct. So yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have to increase the amount of hatchling that I have, and I think that's gonna have to be right away. Probably gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna start feeding these guys here. I got a lot of them. So food, trigger feeder. My plan was to let them die, but I don't think it's gonna be a wise option right now. So I'm gonna feed those. I should probably also this here gonna eventually destroy it because I got a slightly better setup coming. Well, I think it's better anyway. So this here is gonna be a huge CO2 reservoir. So for now it'll be in my base. Eventually I'll probably move it. So I'm gonna create a vacuum in here using the same setup that I had before. So water lock in the bottom. My dupe's gonna go in. It's gonna dig everything out from the inside. I'm gonna put the high pressure vent in there so I can have 20 kilograms of pressure of pure CO2 in here. And I'm gonna use 2 pumps. That are gonna be just a slight pipe here that I'll be able to tap into if for some reason I need CO2. More than likely to feed the slickster. So what I did, I started in the bottom, so I start putting layers from the top, from the bottom, and when I was down to only 2, I start working from the left and from the right so that they can slowly build that big block. use the robo miner just to help me out with clearing the side here. Unfortunately, all that neutronium cannot be digged into, but it's something that it's not a huge deal. So we'll be able to deconstruct this, finish the ladder all the way to the bottom, and then we'll have the bottom of our base. Probably gonna be having a few pumps just to pick up the little bit of the water that runs that will drop from places, accident, and whenever I break a pipe and make a mess, so we'll be able to pick it up and send it back into the system. So it looks like the desalinator is all built up and it works fine. So we got salt water being pumped in, fresh water being pumped out. So it looks like the power is kind of having few issues, but it was expected, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Yeah, so this blew up some water, and our what's the temperature? 33 degrees. It's gonna warm up the temperature of the water a little bit, but not too worrisome. Looks like our oxygen works fine with that boost from the coal generator. I hope it'll work fine. I'm gonna need to tap into a new source of energy fairly quickly, so I'm gonna have to find petroleum. I did find an oil well over here, so it's pretty warm, but might have to rush for this so I can start powering the base using something different, because I think my coal setup will not work for now. This here, I want you to hatches. Where are you? Hatches. I'll give you cement down there. There we go. So yeah, so hopefully those will be yet replenished soon. Got this one here that looks like it's working fine. Got 6. I can copy settings, but I don't want to. Yeah, might as well auto raggle. I need the feeder. Oops, I need a feeder. Just a regular feeder. So, in between episode, I'm gonna create a little water lock here. I'll try to send my dupes without killing them. It might not happen. We will see. I will keep you posted. So over here, I'm gonna make a little, probably oil lock actually, so that the water doesn't blow up into my face. And we'll see how long they can be. So I know the aqua tuner takes quite a bit of time to build, so hopefully it gets done quickly, and hopefully it'll work fine. So what else? I think that's pretty much it for the base right now. Is this guy working? No. What's the setup on this? Yeah, so it's always on. Just doesn't have enough hydrogen to power it. And it does suck up quite a bit of oxygen, I think. Oh, and I got some hydrogen going in the bottom. So, what I can do... I'm gonna try to put probably just a filter here, just take all that hydrogen and force it up. So, yeah. So I'm gonna do the same idea. The gas valve right here. Gonna need a gas bridge. It's gonna bridge in here. Nope. This one cannot be there. Gas bridge cancel build. So I want. So I'll be able to filter through this one. No, I'm one too close. Deconstruct this and deconstruct this ladder. So, because I need to have two bridges. So one that'll go into here, that one's gonna go over there. So I'm gonna start putting those in. So I need one here, then the... oh, that's liquid, huh? That doesn't work. Ventilation, try this again. Alright. So one's gonna go here, one's gonna come here. As soon as this one's get deconstructed. Why is nobody breaking this? Gas valve. And 8. So, how are you guys doing here? Let's put sedimentary rock here as well. Just copy the settings. I think here I'll put regular hatches in as well, just so I can start filling those up. So I'm gonna raggle everyone. So hopefully they'll be tossed in those two, because there's only 3, so they'll be going through the grooming station, which will increase the amount of coal that will come out of them. So I hope I don't run out of power, because it'll be very problematic. My bristle blossom will start producing, yeah, and everything will go down. So definitely need to increase the amount of coal I have. Is there any coal over here? There's a little bit, so let's go and get all of that. Start playing salvage now. I don't want to take that. I want to poke into that chlorine just yet, because it's gonna be just filling up the base again. What do I have over here? That's all algae, so there's no coal in here. I don't think there's any over here either. That's all rocks and sand. Obsidian. Yep. Nothing good. Nothing that we can help us. Unless, not even here. There's a little bit of algae, but the coal is all the way there. That's polluted oxygen vent. Not what I want right now. It might be, I might be able to use that one for to feed the pacus though. So I'll probably put a pump, take all that polluted oxygen, force it over here, and get the puffs to eat it. Output slime, use the slime, make algae, use the algae, put it over there. So, but I need more puffs. Only add this guy here. Eventually he's gonna drop another egg, but they don't multiply well. I got a few over here that are about to blow, so that's good. Yeah, for now it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna go and try to sort my coal issue in between episodes, so you don't just see me running around try to fix stuff. So we can actually build things in between episodes. There, I got a little bit now, so shouldn't be too bad for to keep us alive for another few rounds. I'm gonna have to reduce the amount of power that I use. I got enough steel here, so I'm gonna just construct that one. And also make sure that this one here, that they are tuned up. Yeah, so they all output more power than they normally do. So that should help quite a bit too. And yeah, find a solution with this. So that's the thing for the next episode. I will, as I normally do, I'll let you guys know what I've done between episodes, so you can be all catched up and up to date. So hope you like the videos. Please subscribe so you can have a notification whenever I get a new video out. And comment on them. Let me know what you'd like to see. If there's something that I do wrong, if you see an error in my base that's gonna kill me soon, drop a comment on the videos, and I'll be happy to try to rectify it in between episodes. So I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.